New Year's Eve is right around the corner. Do you have your black-eyed peas ready to go for New Year's Eve? This is a tradition I had not heard about until probably a little more than 10 years ago when my oldest brother called me frantically on New Year's Eve looking for a can of black-eyed peas because he couldn't find any, and his wife and he had the tradition of eating a spoonful of them on New Year's Eve for good luck. No one really knows where this tradition comes from. There's a lot of theories floating around from different origins, but it is supposed to bring you good fortune and abundance. One theory is that the black-eyed peas swell up to indicate good fortune and abundance. And another theory is that the Union soldiers overlooked this food and it was crucial for survival for the slaves that were in the South. So there is some origins that come from the Southern folklore. But today we're going to talk about planning because I feel like planning is our best source of having good luck in the new year. Several of you have shared with me that you plan for 2026 to be a low spend or a no spend year. You plan on shopping your home first, looking through your pantries and your freezers and your household goods, and using everything you possibly can that you've already purchased and that you have stored away. And I agree. And I have been trying to do that also in 2025. I plan to continue doing it in 2026. I feel like it helped me a lot, and I didn't have to increase my food budget or my household expenditures by doing it that way. So, I'm going to show you a few of the meals that I've prepared this week out of things that I already had on hand. And we're going to talk about some of the different budget categories that I plan for. And I hope that this helps someone today. I could not believe the special that I ran across. I found hamburger for $1.99 a pound. I haven't seen that price in I don't even know when. So I grabbed 6 pounds of it, and if I would have had more room in my freezer, I would have grabbed more because there was a bunch of it on sale. And so this week we treated ourselves and had hamburger as part of our meal rather than breaking it down into smaller amounts and having less of it and mixing it in a soup or a stew or a casserole. We actually had hamburger patties with veggies on the side. Now, I baked the hamburger patties in the oven and they came out so delicious, less greasy. I really like doing it that way. And it was cold in the house, so it helped warm up the kitchen. That's why I did that as an added bonus. And then I took a sweet potato, sweet red peppers that I had left in the fridge, some carrots and some onions, and I sauteed them on the stovetop. Now, if you've never had a sauteed sweet potato where it kind of caramelizes, it is so delicious. And mixed with those wheat peppers, it was so good. So that's what we had for a few meals this week. I broke the hamburger down into 3 burgers per pack, and it was kind of like a hobo dinner without the foil. One of the meals I like to have when I'm here by myself is Great Northern beans on bread. I picked up some Great Northern beans off of Amazon on markdown in December, and I think they were like 51 or 59 cents a can. Now, I grew up eating these when my mom was at work. It was something I could make. It was something that I loved. And I just add a little bit of butter, heat them up in the microwave, and then put them over buttered bread. This is something I grew up eating. I don't know where it came from other than maybe it was like beans and cornbread, only a cheaper version. But the UK eats a lot of beans on bread, but they eat baked beans on bread a lot or on toast. Let me know if you've tried this before because I love it still even as an adult, and I eat it. I think I'm the only one in my family that still eats this, but I keep a few cans of Great Northern beans when I can catch them on sale on hand, and then they are a quick fast meal for me that is very filling and delicious. Now, all of the meals that I share may not be something that you would like to eat, but the whole point behind Figuring out our strategy and our planning so that we can be ahead of the game is to be resourceful with what we have and be practical for what our needs are. If we have the things in our house that we know we're going to use, that we're going to reach for first, and it keeps us from buying more things or it helps us stretch our dollar, that is practical for our homes. Maybe everybody doesn't like beans on bread. Maybe you love beans on bread. Maybe you have another go-to meal that's quick and easy and affordable and filling that you go to when you're trying to save money or just to keep around to keep yourself from going out and going through a drive-through. Now, there's no drive-throughs out here where I live at, but when I can grab something out of the cabinet and prepare it and know I had it on hand and it kept me from going somewhere or going back to the grocery store before I was ready to, I'm really pleased with that. And I know that I've saved myself some money by just being well stocked and prepared. Do you have a budget format that you use that helps you stay on track during the year? I'm going to show you my main budget format that I use. And then, of course, I break everything up into categories and I track my spending throughout the year. That may sound like a lot, but it keeps me on track. I know how much money I have at any given time. I know if I can afford to splurge or not afford to splurge. It is just a lot of really good information, and it keeps my life stress-free by knowing where I'm at any given time. So let me show you the format that I use, and then you can either use it or adjust it to fit your needs or use a format that you are comfortable with. I am a handwritten budget type of person. So I don't remember where I got this format. I read a book and I don't remember what book it was that gave me this format years ago. And I have continued to use it and it has worked well for me. So I start out with this main accrual account. These are things I save for every single month and I just stick the money away and I base it on last year's budget. And sometimes it goes up, but sometimes it goes down depending on the situation. So things that would go in this category are things like car tags, car insurance, health insurance, and property tax. And there may be some other things that you have in there, but I've tried to write down the main items that a lot of people would put in these categories to try to help you format a plan. The next one is Christmas and birthday account. Again, I budget out what I spend on that and what I forecast to spend. I divide it by 12, and that goes into my monthly budget. I also have a vacation account. It's rather small. We don't take a lot of large vacations, and when we do it very frugally so that we can go again and have no debt when we come back. And so I budget a little bit in that account as well every single month, so that we have the money we want when we need to do something or want to do something. Then there's the general account. Now, I don't have a car payment and some of these things, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what would generally go in this section. Things like a car payment, things like car upkeep, whether it's oil changes, tires, repairs, any credit card or other debt. I don't have any of that either. Clothing budget, if you want to budget for clothes, you may have everything you need this year, or you may want to put just a little amount in there in case you need something small. Snacks, in case you buy anything when you are out and about. I feel like this one gets people a lot because they don't plan for this and it's always extra or miscellaneous, and this one can really add up. So I have found that I can stay on budget better by just doing like a small $30 snack budget per month and then tracking that and making sure I don't spend more than $30 on buying anything when I'm out and about. Any TV subscriptions that you have would go here. Any phone costs, internet costs, if you have any student loans, anything for electricity or gas or heat for your house, any car gas, any toll roads, and there may be some other things that I didn't think about that may affect you. So be sure that you look through what you have been spending on and that you don't miss anything. The other one is the household account. This one would be things like groceries, which I put my household purchases in the grocery category. And so if I need toilet paper or dishwashing detergent or anything like that, it would go in that category. And then I am just very frugal at the things that I purchase and the way that I use them. And it really doesn't affect my grocery budget that much because normally I stock up on these things and have extra. So I don't have to buy a lot of these. And sometimes I don't even have to buy household goods every single month. Pet food, if you have any pets, also veterinarian costs, any meals out. Again, this is one that will get you if you don't plan for this and then you do this off and on, it will add up quicker than you think. So I just think it's safer to plan for this ahead of time. I feel like it keeps us on track if we know that we've already spent that for the month, or if we have some left over from last month. It helps us make a better decision so that we don't go back into debt. Any haircuts, if you get them, I've been cutting my own the last couple of years, so I haven't even been budgeting anything there. And any medicines or copays for doctor's visits or anything like that. And you may have some more items that I didn't think of that would go there. Then I come up with a monthly amount, so I kind of know what I need to have every single month to make ends meet. And I multiply that by 12 to kind of see how much I need to have per year to break even. So let me know if I've missed anything that you plan for, but that is the budget format that I use. So let me know, do you believe in good luck? Do you believe in bad luck? Do you believe in trying to make your own luck? Because I believe planning is the best tool we can have for having the most successful year possible going into 2026. Thank you for listening today. I love to read your comments, so please leave me one. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.